and welcome to Ladies Night. I'm Moira Miller, and the ladies joining me tonight are Dina Nichols and Lisa Cosette and Maria Sheehan. And Mary Beth Lynch was unable to join us, but we hope to catch her next time. So, you know what I like about this is I can see all your names, so I don't have to be afraid I'm going to make a screw up here. And not that
you might forget. You might forget who we are.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I know who you are. It's just one of those things, you know, you go like, you know.
I know.
Yeah. So how is everybody? It's been about more than a month since we did the first coronavirus COVID-19 version. Here we are, and today happens to be the day that Governor Baker's office we went into phase 2 of reopening. Did anybody go to a restaurant today or try?
No, I'm going tomorrow twice. I'm going to Berlundi's for breakfast and John Brewer's for dinner.
Good.
Yeah.
So both they have outside space, and
they closed Moodie Street until
so
restaurants can use it at night.
That's great.
Yeah.
Have you been there yet on Moodie Street since it's been closed?
It's kind of controversial because a lot of the business owners there are mad because they can't get deliveries and things because the streets closed. And they didn't really ask everybody, they just asked the restaurants. So it'll be an interesting time, I think.
Yeah. Well, you know, somebody asked me today if I would go to a restaurant if I think it might be down in Rhode Island, they're doing some restaurant, say Newport. And so it's Sidewalk Dining because they don't necessarily have a patio. So Sidewalk Dining, and then there's plexiglass between each table. So you've got a table, say for 2 or 4, and then you've got plexiglass, then you've got another table. And they were saying, you know, would you go out to eat at a restaurant where you're separated by everybody else with plexiglass?
Yes.
And you would?
Yes.
I would. By the way, I would like that better. So I'm not, you know, when you're in a,
you are very antisocial.
I am so antisocial. I don't want to sit next to you. No, but you know, when you sit in a really close spot, like city restaurants, a lot of times, and there's like one after another.
You're on top of each other.
On top of the person, and I get that that's a city thing, and people in the cities, and if you're European, it's not that big of a model. But I think the plexiglass would be really good now because
you get paid to clean though if you work there, you know.
Yes, especially kids are sitting there and. Yeah, they have to clean it because it's part of it. So I think we're in like they're interesting times, but new territory, like brave new world here.
I know. Well, I ordered out from is it JP's in Westboro that will strip off, right? On Friday night.
Nice.
And nicest people, right? So I went in to pick up my stuff, and I heard the owner telling somebody that he can't open because of the seating arrangements. He's not going to be open for full capacity, or under normal circumstances, it'll be takeout until things change. But you know what? He had a really positive attitude, and it was just so nice to see that he was just saying, you know, basically, we're going to make it work as best we can and roll with it. So I think people are adapting in a way. You know, I think some of the frustration, the anger, the sadness, some of it is subsiding maybe, and people are trying to figure out how to make it work.
Yeah, well, I think they've refocused a lot of people from anger at this and COVID-19 to what's going on in the world with, you know, the protests and Black Lives Matter and stuff. So I'm not saying they're not still worried about this, but this is moving forward. Now we're going to another phase, and now people have something, you know, you kind of have something else to focus on. But
people need to go back to work.
You know. It's hard when you can't, I mean, it's people want to work. Yeah.
I've been back for 2 weeks. It's been great. It's been great. And we finally got our plexiglass in. So whoever, you know, invest in plexiglass because everybody needs it.
Plexiglass.
Yeah, so we finally got it up. So now we can open up to the public because it's taken that long because I had to plexiglass my receptionist in.
I was just going to say, it's just your reception area so people can come in and Now, what about using equipment?
So what it is like, there's like a long list of things people have to do. So when they're doing a show, they have to call, somebody from the staff has to go take their temperature. If they pass, they can come in and they can check their set and do all that stuff. Their guests have to wait outside. They can't come in. And they can only have 2 guests at this time. Once they come, the staff member goes out, checks the temperature. If they pass, they can come in. They're not allowed to sit in the green room. They can use the bathroom if they want, but that's it. They go do the show and everybody gets out of the building. That's how.
Good.
Yeah.
So if we did a ladies' night in that environment, would we have plexiglass between us?
No, you wouldn't be allowed to do ladies' night because
we can't. Okay, so
we only have 3 people in the studio at a time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's funny because Yolanda does a show at my station and she's like, so where are the models going to go? I said, you can't
models.
Any models right now.
So you can have the person operating the equipment, a host and a guest.
Well, what we do is lock down the cameras. So there's no camera people. And then in the control room, there's a door so that there can be people in the control room. Yeah. But
at least 2 people, or well, I guess you're saying 3. You have enough
space in the studio
to be able to see 3 people, and they can be far enough away.
I'm having a board of directors meeting next week. We're having it in the parking lot.
Oh, that's good.
Because
no, I love it.
Doesn't rain. It's good.
Setting up tables in the parking lot because there's I don't want anybody to feel uncomfortable. But you still have board meetings,
Hope it doesn't rain.
Yeah. Well, if it does rain, we're going to have it in the studio and just put the tables on either side of the studio. There's enough room.
Yeah.
And the tables are big, so if I put like 3 people at a table, they should be fine. They shouldn't be close enough. But the things you got to do,
It's interesting to hear. Yeah, you're right. So you're a great example of businesses adapting to that, and so many bigger businesses like Lisa, maybe yours, the technology companies are telling a lot of their people, work from home.
So I think I said it last time, but we are able to work at home through September 1st, at least September 1st. But there are some people who it's been difficult, whatever their home environment is, it's actually worse for them to be working from home. Yeah. So they surveyed us to see, what are your needs? And if you were to come back, how often would you want to come, all that stuff. And any place where there's congregating, like the cafeteria or a conference room, those would be off limits. But you could at least go back to your office, but we haven't heard yet when that would be. But I'm sure there'll be some kind of adapting. But in terms of restaurants, like Burton's was open today because they have outdoor seating.
Yeah.
But there are many restaurants that don't have it, like on Moodie Street. All they have is the sidewalk. But even some aren't even equipped to do takeout. And so they haven't been able to take advantage of that during this time. So yeah, so many restaurants, in particular, hospitality companies or businesses are not able to make it through this, which is
like nail salons and the masseuses. And, I'm going up to New Hampshire to get my nails done this weekend.
Oh, so those aren't open yet?
They changed it. I think supposed to be in phase 2. They were supposed to, but it
phase 2, section 1, part A.
Got pushed off.
Yeah.
I was just happy with the hair. I got the hair done. I'm like, I'm not going to push it for the nails.
I don't even watch those updates anymore. I was like, but it's just all so much. You just wake up and see what the day brings, right?
At least I was wondering I was thinking about any tips or anything you've learned through this that we could share with people about like getting through. And so I have this lanyard on because I had figured out, and it's probably not novel. I just figured out,
yeah.
That's good.
On and off. Like if you go into the grocery store and then you come out and then you go in.
And you're like, oh, I forgot my mask.
Walking, I wear this walking or running or, whatever. So
yeah,
if I can't distance from people, it's just really easy to put it on and take it off.
Yeah, no, that's a great idea.
If you're instead of having it dangling from your ear, right? That's what a lot of us do. You put it around your ear when you walk, you kind of take it half off and then you go. If I was chasing one through the parking lot, one of the light blue ones today, it was comical. It kept blowing and then it kept running and it was blowing more and then it's getting dirtier, but it was my only mask.
Get a lanyard, see? Get a lanyard.
I know.
With college kids, And you
I'm
know,
sure you have one at home.
you must have a drawer full of these.
Yeah.
things someplace.
Okay, another tip that I found works well for me is backpacks. I'm used to using those backpack purses because you have to do so many different things with your hands now that to carry a purse and to carry your whatever maybe you have gloves, maybe you have the mask, and then it just seems there's so many mechanics involved with getting through, say, the grocery store that or at least even with myself with work, that having a backpack purse just takes that one last thing off your mind. I found that was made life so much easier because you carry a few extra things, you've got your spray, antibacterial thing, and then it almost becomes routine. But
yeah, I used to have those when my kids were all little. You'd be holding two on either side in the backpack, and then the other kid on top of the backpack.
Because you need to think now with everything you do, right? You just can't automatically go through your day. So to be carrying a purse and all that other stuff, if you throw it in a backpack, it's just easier.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Good idea.
My
I
little
just
tip.
got a note that says I don't have to wear a mask. That's all I do. But I wear it if it makes people uncomfortable, but I don't wear a mask. No.
Yeah, but you could do something like this. So you just put it on if you have to, and then just take it right off if you don't,
Yeah. I mean, I wear it at the supermarket. If I'll wear it, but I don't, like I went to that great little farmer's market in Northborough the other day and I didn't wear one and they didn't even care. They didn't say.
Speaking of farmers market, ours is on June 17th. Is that right?
Next week?
I think it's 17th, but the first part of it is for senior citizens, and then for other folks, they can come at 3:30, I believe it is. I could be getting that wrong.
Where do they have it now? Is it still a senior center parking lot?
Oh, well, it's at Town Hall, but it's not over on that side. It's actually going to be in front of Town Hall. It's going to be fabulous. If you can get on Facebook, and it was posted on the Shrewsbury Community Forum, I believe, and the town site.
Oh, that's great.
I think, but there's only one way in, and masks have to be worn by all the vendors. Now, I would highly suggest patrons wear masks too, but there will be a whole section of time when just senior citizens can go.
That's good. I qualify. Yay.
Early bird hours.
Question for me.
Not 65.
Why do people wear masks in cars when they're all alone?
I know. I see that too.
Well, hey, if they want to, let them do it. That's what I say,
So, well, to me, the logic or the rationale would be they were just somewhere where they could have been exposed,
They forgot to take
and they
it off.
don't want to get it in their car. So, and disinfect, continually having to disinfect their car. So why not? I mean, I don't laugh at them.
and they probably just don't have one of Moira's lanyards.
That's right.
Exactly.
Right.
They don't want to lose
can
it.
mark those,
Since you get
Moira,
home,
and
you
make a
take
lot
it
of money. Mask lanyards. You gotta do it. You gotta just make your millions. Hear about the girl that made millions with the jigsaw puzzles? Did you hear about her?
No.
Hear about that girl? She got out of college, I guess last year. She always loved jigsaw puzzles, so she started a company where you send the pictures in. And I don't know if she had a 3D printer, but she would cut the puzzle for you. And puzzling has been a huge thing during the pandemic. She's worth millions now.
There's silver linings to everything.
I know.
One person's
I love stories like that.
is another person's,
Well, I'll tell you, on an upside, the stock market's doing really well today, right? Today, and gorgeous outside. People are outside now. I see happier people, more relaxed people. You just have a feeling that people are adapting, and we're just kind of moving forward. And I'm feeling much more encouraged, much more encouraged. Yeah, I think the only thing is that now that it's nice weather, people are starting to socialize a little bit. And so you go over and, you bring your own cocktails, you bring your own snacks, and you sit 6 feet apart and you do all that stuff. You don't go in the house, you don't use the bathroom, and then you have your cocktails. And all of a sudden, everybody starts getting a little closer to each other.
That's right.
And everybody has to use the bathroom.
I know, right. So it gets to be a slippery slope with this nice weather and everybody wanting to get together and socialize.
It'll be interesting to see with all those people socializing in the streets, how that does with
Say that again?
all those thousands of people socializing on the street, if that's going to perk up the
During
rates.
protests?
Yeah.
Yes, sure. I
Yeah.
think that will
Wear masks, obviously.
it's indefinite.
But yeah, but
We'll
it's
see how that affects the COVID-19, you know, because
Yeah.
those numbers went way down. If you look today, they went way down today. So hopefully, if nobody, you know, the protests don't spike it, that's a good sign. It means it's dying out, right?
Hopefully.
at least for now. Yeah, right.
Right.
There could be another surge, and this
I'm
was
still
expected
stuck.
where it would go down, and there could be another surge in the fall.
But it does feel good to just get some level of normalcy back, whatever it is.
Totally. Totally,
just nice
totally.
to feel the sun, you know?
You go in the grocery store now. I was in Price Chopper, and it's the shelves are better stocked. Like the whole bread aisle had bread today. You know, I mean, it's like
Right.
it was actually toilet paper and paper towels. Still no wipes. You know, those are. But so you get the sense people now that there's some sense of normalcy, people aren't feeling as panicky.
Mhm.
Thus, there's a little more
Yeah.
supply, hopefully.
Right.
So let me ask you, are you guys planning any summer vacations? Are you going to still, you're going to go away, Maria. I know that to Marshfield.
Yeah.
Is anybody else booking trips or?
We're
So
excited.
mine were canceled, but go ahead, Moira.
Oh, go ahead, Lisa. No.
Mine were canceled. I had one in May that was canceled. And I have one in end of June, beginning of July. I go to the hostel in Truro every year with my college buddies, and we bike all around the Cape. But the hostel decided not to open at all this year. So everything's been canceled from that. So I won't be doing that this year.
Well, we've got good news because, you know, we like Maine.
Right.
And the governor of Maine announced her new regulations to allow hotels, motels, cottages, all of that. She's suspending the 14-day quarantine that was in place. So so as of July 1st, the requirement will be that anyone entering from out of state has to have had a COVID-19 test.
Oh.
At least 72 hours prior that came out negative.
Wow.
Then check into your hotel or wherever you're going. They're required to have you sign something that says, yeah, I took the test and, you know, here it is. I mean, I'm not that, it just came out a few hours ago, so I'm not up to date, but there's a process now that the proprietors have to use to verify. And then they may also, you know, check your temperature and all that kind of stuff. But it's exciting because, you know, the 14-day quarantine was a killer. I mean, there was just
my gosh, why go?
Right.
Right. Do it, you know. So
yeah.
But what was interesting is it's Maine, right? So, but if people from New Hampshire and Vermont don't have to do that because New Hampshire and Vermont's rate of community spread is as low as Maine's. So if we lived in New Hampshire, we'd be able to go without the test. So now we have to figure out as it gets closer.
Where are you going to get your test?
Qualify for a test. So how do you get a test?
Exactly. Right.
Hopefully there's going to be
That's
some process that works around that, but anyway.
How about you, Dina? You go down to the Cape every summer, right?
We do. And I just decided to pull the trigger. I pushed it out another week. We go the 4th of July week, but I pushed it out to the week following just because I think as every day goes by, one more restaurant's going to start to think about opening up. You know, I just feel like people are going to get more comfortable, assuming everything stays the same and or gets better. But, you know, down in Howardsport where we go, Witchmere Harbor Club is closed all summer. Not that we belong to it, just like some of the places that are kind of the anchors for those areas are closed all summer. Well, actually that particular one, and another one opens mid-July, I think, another place down there. So I think it'll be quieter, but I feel like people are going to be ready by July to feel like they want a vacation a little bit, and you're going to be able to get.
I want to go right now.
Yeah.
I want to get on a plane. complain and
Yeah.
ready. Yeah.
But you know, I mean, I made sure I'll just tell you a little bit more detail. The owner stays the week before I do. So I said, I don't want to stay if I know there's going to be, you know, random family stays there. They say they disinfected before they left, or the cleaner tells them they disinfected. Who's to say, right? But if it's the property owner and I've had a long-standing relationship with them, I feel a little bit more comfortable that they're going to do the right thing when they leave.
Well, isn't the property owner going to make sure there's a extra special cleaning between every?
Well, yeah, they put it on what the realtor, we work through a realtor, but we know the owner. What the realtor said was that they put the onus either A, on the renter to say that they're going to clean themselves and do it, or B, pay a third party, a cleaning company, if you want to pay the cleaning fee.
Oh,
So
sure.
there's a little bit of a risk.
I see. Sure.
Yeah, so a lot of people opt probably to say, wait, I'm paying all this money. I don't want to pay for a cleaner too. I'll do it myself.
Yeah.
But do they do it? You know, and so I feel like that's the tricky part, people feeling comfortable coming in. And a lot of landlords, or a lot of property owners, I was told by the rental agent, canceled all summer just because they didn't want strangers in their houses right now. So it wasn't even the people that rent that don't want to do it. It's the property owners that don't want to do it.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting time.
I think everybody's going to figure out what their level of risk is and
Exactly
what they're comfortable with. And there, I don't know if it was Maria or somebody here that shared it. Somebody somewhere shared. It was a good. Maybe it was you, Lisa. The level of risk at different things, like how much risk is there in in a hotel room versus how much risk. Right. And things like that were very, very low risk because like you said, I mean, that's assuming somebody was there and they touched something, whatever. So I think with some precautions and, I'm the person that, we've been renting the same lake cottage for 25 years, right? First thing I do when I get in there is I hot water, dish soap, I take all the silverware.
And you clean it all yourself. Yes.
Yeah.
Clean them, constantly clean.
Yes.
I know it's my vacation, but it's just what we do. So I think it's just a little of that and
I bring my own pillows and sheets and towels.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm so bad. I never did that. Hey, I was one of 7 kids. It was always pretty nasty around my house.
I might go to Target and get one of those zipper up mattress things too,
Wow.
I have one, Maria, you can borrow. Oh, but then you'll
that's what I mean. Everybody's got to do whatever they're comfortable with.
I know.
And I understand we were talking about the real estate market, Dina, you were saying it's really booming right now.
Booming.
And one of the things I understand is people are putting pools in. If you're,
oh my gosh. Yeah.
Really?
And
I didn't know that. I hadn't heard that.
Because they're not going
Crazy.
away. So they're putting in pools.
Yep.
So if you're a pool guy, you're a happy guy.
Yes.
Fire pits. You can't, find a fire pit any place right now. Yeah, fire pits. And because people want gathering spots outside.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So
interesting.
that's our plan. We're gonna kind of bling out our little porch, little porch, and just make it as festive as we can, like an outdoor bar area or something.
That's
so that
great.
people want to have their friends stay outside, come over, and they're not going to be crammed into a friend's apartment. I do it more for the kids than ourselves, even, because the kids, once they let their guard down, it's hard.
my gosh. Yeah, don't even get me started.
I know. We like to think that we're all perfect, but we're not, and they're not.
Well, they're also invincible, so.
True.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
6 minutes left. So what else is?
Has anybody gone to the doctor yet or any kind of healthcare provider yet?
TeleMed.
No.
What do you call it? TeleMed thing.
How does that work? Does that work well?
Worked great for me. I had a great experience with it. Yeah.
Okay.
So what do you do? Like zoom in and say, hey, look at this mole.
Well, you would have to if that was for my particular case, what I was calling for didn't require that. But when the receptionist was setting it up, she said that to me. Are you
Gonna
ready?
show us anything?
So if it's something very private, you want to make sure don't be doing it in the office with everybody around, because
Even if nobody's around, I'm not showing anything
on a screen.
No way.
So you can still go in. In my case, I had the option to go in or to do this. And again, for the reason I was calling, I could do it worked great. It was just, so they set up the appointment. They they text me at the, the time, and then they call and,
Is it Zoom? Do they Zoom in?
yeah, it was like Zoom. I guess it's Zoom. I don't know. I didn't have to do anything. They text me the link. So,
and you click on it and you go.
I click on it and then they call and yeah. So anybody else do it? Have you done it?
I went to the eye doctor because my glasses keep getting stretched out from the masks. My glasses just keep going like that. And it was bizarre. Like I had to call them, and then one of the nurses had to come out. Well, I don't know what they're called, technicians. She had to come out and get me. They locked me in. I was the only one in there. She wouldn't she just she did her best to fix them. And she said, you're just going to have to deal with it. And so my glasses are still kind of loose, but she said, we can't fit them on you. It's just not allowed yet. So, and then I went to the lab to get blood work, and they, when you went in, you couldn't wear your own mask. You had to wear their mask. Mm-hmm. You had to disinfect your hands. Then you had to put their mask on. Mm-hmm. And then you had to go to the lab, and then you had to disinfect your hands. And it was just weird, like, so strange.
I went to a funeral. I mean, not to say this is exciting, but I went to a funeral recently. I didn't even know they were doing them last week. And I have to say, it was awesome, because you get in, they squirt your hands with disinfectant at the back of the church, just like kind of Maria, like you're describing. They make sure that you wear a mask and you're apart by X number of feet. The pews are like every other pew. There are X's on the pews to know where to sit. You go to communion, and
communion. Wait a minute. You take communion.
How'd you go to communion? Yeah.
Yeah, they spray they do your hands as you walk out the pew to go down to get communion. He has a glove on or something. He's a mask on. He hands you the thing.
In your hand or in your mouth?
In your hand. And then I did try to stick it in my mouth automatically, forgetting that I had a mask on. And I'm like, how do you do this?
But no one
it was kind of funny.
Their mask off when they
I slipped it under. Right? I don't know how I didn't look at the other people.
That would not be. That would make me.
I'm surprised. I didn't think communion.
That's not good.
I had communion. It was like so orchestrated that
Um,
it is normally.
Well, you could bring it back. You're right, Dina. You could bring it back to your pew. And
hey, you.
I know. I'm sorry.
No religion
fun of organized.
The fact that it's not. I find that comforting for people that they can actually have a funeral now. And
I know that's what I mean.
I went to somebody's
more than 10 people.
Yeah, I went to somebody's father's ceremony.
Memorial.
It wasn't a memorial. The family had done something, but at you could go to the cemetery. It was right when they were just allowing people. You could go to the cemetery, but you had to same thing, distance. Everybody wore a mask. Everybody was respectful. I mean, the only problem was you can't hear very well.
Yeah.
But it's for the family anyway. You're just there, and then you wonder if people knew you were there because you have a mask on.
That's true. Oh, well, that's a conversation we may be ending, but honest to God, how do you identify people? That's a great conversation. How do you identify people with masks on? Nobody knows who anybody is.
I know, that's why I love this.
I would be able to know. I would be able to tell all of you. I mean, there's so much more to
if you know somebody, but if you don't, like you bump into somebody in the grocery store, you might not. But everybody I've seen so far, I know who it is.
I knew who they were.
I've had to ask them to take their mask off. Like how do you?
Wow.
I said I can't identify you behind that mask. They're far enough away.
Interesting.
So Maria said you can have some fun with it and be.
Yeah.
I
My
know.
problem is hearing. I can't hear
Ladies,
anything.
I gotta tell you.
Time.
Sorry, Maria. It's time. Yeah, we got to wrap it up. So I don't want to be remiss in thanking Mark Sarah again for
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you for everything.
I'll set up with the Zoom and everything. So everybody be well, be safe. We'll be around. Hopefully, maybe the next one we'll be able to do it some sort of in person.
Maybe outside.
Yeah. Someplace exciting.
Maybe outside. Perfect.
Yeah.
We'll enjoy this spring. Enjoy the gorgeous weather. Get outside.
Happy summer.
Happy summer.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.